a lot of people discernment ain't strong because their ego is weak. And the reason my discernment is strong because I don't operate out of my ego, right? So God is able to reach me in a discerning way. My gut is able to speak to me because I'm not operating from pride or ego. But because so many people are operating out of pride or ego, they can't discern past what they perceive things to be based on their limited understanding and expectation and view of what they think the outcome should be or would be based on how they see things. And it's all from ego. It's all from What's going on is the Wolf, and we are back with another episode of the Wolf Has Spoken podcast, America's fastest growing podcast.
Universe.
As Q always say, the universe's fastest growing podcast. And I'm extremely excited today because we home again. You know what I'm saying? But we not home alone, man. We joined by our sponsors. Big shout out to Her Fantasy Box and big shout out to K-Pack Law, man. Make sure I give a K-Pack Law, 877 K-Pack Law for any personal injury needs and any criminal representation. And make sure I shop with Her Fantasy Box. Ladies, shop for yourself. Fellas, shop for your ladies. And I'm excited because I'm joined by my guy, the one and only, Mr. Right on Q Live.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. But let's get right to it because this is going to be short and sweet. So I'll let her know exactly what they're in store for. We value giving y'all these conversations so much that we are willing to film even though we're time barred today, right? So let's get right into it. You know, I already pretty much know how your day was. So, you know, my day was good. You want to still tell the audience how your day was?
Same old.
Same old.
Same old. Back to my old answer.
Auto response ass nigga. But let's get into it, man. What we got for him today?
I got a scenario for you.
Talk to me.
So, you know, I feel like whenever I hear about people go through relationships, not that I'm ever like wishing down on anybody, but I just know that until you get to certain like milestones or checkpoints, you ain't really get into like the thick of the situation or whatever. And I feel like two of the main pillars of that is living together and having a kid.
Facts.
Yeah. Until you have one of those, if not both, y'all just in a
definitely living together.
Yeah.
I'm vicious. You can move in 6 months, bro. Let's figure this shit out.
Right. Let's see where we're going.
We'll wait for it.
Yeah. Get out. So my man's, he was dating a girl. It was good. Everything was cool. This and that, whatever. They moved in, and then shit started cracking at the foundation.
Of course it did.
Yeah. And one of the things was she was kind of, and it was kind of cool, but she was kind of controlling the whole picture and narrative of like how the place is gonna look. But it's our place. It's our place. But she make all decisions and this and that, whatever.
It is ours, but
the butt is silent.
Yeah, sure.
So then it all came to a head because I'm curious to get what you would do in the situation. It all came to a head because he makes paintings. So he's like, no, I'm gonna put some of my paintings on the wall. And he just did it. And I'm sorry to give him more credit. Originally said, yo, can you like go to my website, look at my collection, pick out something you would like, and then we can kind of come to a joint decision. And then boom, she never did it. So he's like, oh, fuck, I'm gonna just put them up, whatever. Put up 8 on the wall and kind of like the open space of like the living room, kitchen area type shit, whatever. And she came home, lost her shit. Like, sent the most dramatic text, like, oh my God, I feel I was ambushed. I can't believe you didn't ask me. Said, you never brought this up to me before. Just completely threw him under the bus. Gaslight crazy.
That's gaslight.
And it made this whole thing. And me and him was talking about what I said was like, I don't think she's crazy for being like, oh damn, like I didn't have my input in this, and maybe I don't like paintings, maybe I'm into this type of art, whatever. So that's like shit on the wall, that can be a big thing, whatever. But for her to say, you never brought it up to her, the whole gas and shit, that's where she and she dramatic as hell. That's where you lose it at, whatever. For sure. But it became like a real big deal because he was like, yo, I feel at home now. I want this, my shit. I want it all. This is my only one decision I made. I'm gonna kind of stand on it. So what are your thoughts about those type of micro aggressive situation, relationships?
I think that's where conversation in the dating phase matter. I think that's where leadership matters. Because for me, I literally have my approach to that is I choose where we live, you can choose how it look. But it's so funny because then again, I do want some type of say so because of course you're not about to bedazzle the whole crib and I'm just in here walking into a fucking bedazzled princess factory as a grown ass man. Right. But ultimately that's what it comes down to, dedicated spaces. I want the basement, what you want. I want the bedroom, what you like. We do a draft. And I think that could be effective where it's like, all right, now within this draft, we come together as a collective to discuss a color palette. So that is a feng shui and sync type of thing, you know, or we do some type of color blocking where it's like, you know, this color, because in my most previous relationship, it was like, that was her thing. Like, you could do the decor. I trust you, but you know, the room can't be girly. You know what I'm saying? It could be neutral,
right?
But it can't be girly. And I need the basement. But in the living room, whatever, plants and flowers and pictures, I really don't give a fuck. Like, I didn't make you my partner, then I trust you to make decisions. But that goes for both.
Right.
So she didn't make him her partner for him to not trust his decision making or to not consider his decision making.
Right.
And I think that's where it come down to when we get in these relationships, understanding that it's not just our way no more. It's not just about what we want. We have to find a median. And I'm speaking from somebody who at once, even in this production, I had a particular way I saw things. I had to grow to learn to allow for other input and other approaches and be okay with it. Not just allow it and be over there hoping it don't work out, but allow it and actually be okay with it because I want this to work more than I want it to work for me. And I think that looking in relationships is like, we together, I'm okay with you having said input or opinion or perspective or approach or just creativity. You know what I'm saying? As long as mine is considered as well, we should be good. And just kind of, if you out there and you dealing with these type of things, figure out what's a 10 to you and a 2 to you. Give away all the 2s and fight for the 10s. Because if it's a 10, that means it's worth standing on. If it's a 10 to me, I'm standing on that shit. These my paintings. I created this shit. This is my wall. Stand on it. That's a 10. But if it's a 2, the color of the couch, the color of the bathroom mats and all that, let that shit go. Because it's like, at this point, you fighting for what? A lot of people will fight for their right to be wrong and then end up in a nut-ass predicament and wonder why it didn't work. Let that shit go.
Also, check back our old episode, 10 to 2s episodes.
Yeah.
Good episode.
So, yeah, the whole episode just talking about being able to navigate these type of things to keep your relationship healthy. If it's not that big a deal to me, I'm not going to make it a big deal. And if it is a big deal to you and it's not a big deal to me, I'm definitely going to let the deal exist for you. I'm not going to try to crush it because it's not a big deal to me.
Exactly. And I think that's probably was the
disconnect.
The disconnect, because it was, I don't want to say a 10. Let's just say it probably was closer to a 10, and you trying to make this a 10 about you, and it's really not, though.
And I gave you the space by letting you, by asking you to take a look. And honestly, I think that you need those things. Like, people be afraid for their relationship to face challenges when the whole time challenges is what bring the relationship together. Not internal challenges. Not saying you should be toxic in your relationship, putting your partner through bullshit. I'm saying that when y'all go through things together, y'all grow through things together. And in order to grow through things together, this is how y'all grow together. This is how y'all become an item. This is how y'all be able to know. See, because if you playing basketball with a person, you're not going to trust them with the last shot if you never seen them shoot, right? You're like, I'd rather take it. I don't trust you. But if you know they knock down, you're like, oh, I'm giving you this shot because I trust you to be able to deliver. If you got a homie and y'all get into a fight and you know he always run on you, you're like, all right, this motherfucker gonna run on me. Or if you don't know what he'll do, you 9 out of 10 don't want to get into that type of. But if you know you with your homie that's going to stand there with you, you feel a little bit more comfortable and confident. Like, all right, cool. If anything go down, I know that this person got my back. The same is true for your partner. When y'all go through shit and you show up for that person, it allows, especially us as men, that's what we require from a woman. I want to know, this is why they be like, oh, the man wants you to go through fucking this and that, and you got to go through poverty and all of this. I just want to make sure that you got my back. Like,
battle tested.
And if you're battle tested, then I know that if a battle is ever to arise, we're going to overcome this battle together. It's not going to be me battling the problem and battling you while I'm trying to battle the problem. It's me knowing that if anything, I'm more confident as I pursue my goals. Now I'm more confident as I show up for you because I know that me showing up for you is appreciated in the fact that you know that if anything was ever slowed down or stopped, you still going to be there to help me pick it up, not just go ahead and dip and vanish on me. So I think that those different type of environments and those challenges allow for you to grow into who you actually want to be, and it shows you who you're dealing with. But when people try to stray away from having problems, I think the moment you have a challenge, oh no, I ain't about to sit through no nigga hard times. Why would I do that when I could just get a new nigga? That's why you always gonna need a new nigga, and you're never gonna get a nigga that wants you, or a man, excuse my language, you're always gonna need a new man. You're never gonna get a man that truly wants you for you because you don't even want the man truly for him. And the thing is, as men, we can become more loyal the more you show us that you got our back, the more you show us that you'll show up for us, the more we're gonna show up for you, times 10. Like, it's not even times 2. It's times 10. This man will lay his life on the line for you just from you simply rubbing his back every day and show him, babe, how was your day? Are you okay? This man will make sure nothing in the world happened to you. The weight of what he's willing to do for you, for the weight of what you're giving him, is not even comparable, but yet you will get rid of that for the simple fact that you don't want to endure a hard season with the man. No, challenges bring people closer together. It don't mean manufacture challenges. It mean when they arise, y'all put on your hard hat together and y'all figure that shit out. You know what I mean? But if you dip on him when you go up, when he go down, and imagine what he gonna do to you when he get up. And it ain't personal at that point. It's just business.
Let him cook.
No, real right.
10s and 2s. We got to circle them. Yeah.
But it's like even being considerate, man. Like we talk about, I say simply said, man, if men can consider their woman the way they would consider their daughter,
right,
and if women can consider their man the way they consider their son. Now, when I say this, we're not talking about kids in the romance side of things. I'm just literally talking about consideration. Like, for instance, if a woman has a son, she's going to make sure that he's fed. She's going to make sure he's cool. She's going to check on him naturally. She's not feeling like she's overdoing it. She's not second guessing it. Her pride not getting away. This is her baby.
She often will overdo it.
She's going to, but willing to.
Yeah.
Willing to overdo it. But it's not even a thought about if it's ever a thing of being over. She's going to have his back. He could be a motherfucking, a serial motherfucking mass. You know what I'm saying? And she will show up to every court date and be like, he innocent. Free my baby. But a man can lose his job and this motherfucker is being thrown to the curb type shit. So if you just consider your man, same thing. You think if you're not going to let a couple hours go by without finding out if your kid hungry. Why does your man got to tell you he hungry? Why is it, oh, you grown, you can do it for yourself? That's not how we want it. We want to be considered. I want to feel like my woman thought about me and made me a sandwich. And the part of that y'all don't understand is we not asking for gourmet meals. We simple. We just want to eat. And if y'all just understood that putting something on the table, just feeding us will literally make us happy. You don't got to make 5-star meals every single day. Nigga will be happy with a sandwich.
I thought of you.
You know, thank you. Damn, I was in here playing the game. I was in here watching the game. Damn, I was working all day on my laptop. She just brought me a sandwich. Oh my gosh. And in reverse, it's like if you with
the chips?
The chips? Don't let her come with the juice. Don't let her come with the juice. Oh yeah, you gonna get this work tonight. you earned this. But all in all, and in reverse, if men can view their women in consideration of how we view our daughters, we give our daughters a lot of grace and patience. We want our daughters to see the world from a level of innocence. We want our daughters to have an easy life. We don't want things to be too hard on them. And you know, if they cry, we tend to them. Oh, daddy gonna make it better. Let me kiss the boo boo. I think you need stitches, but my kiss somehow made the fucking pain go away.
It's fractured.
Like, you follow what I'm saying? Like, but it's just that soft approach to how we view our daughters that our women want out of us. They just want us to consider them in that way. This is why they want princess treatment. Now, I don't believe in giving a grown ass woman princess treatment. I believe in giving her queen treatment. But in doing so, I'm also going to consider her in a way to understand that, all right, cool, you want me to approach you in a soft manner the way I would if my daughter was in need, or you want me to let you to exist in la la land the way I would. I wouldn't want my 3 or 4-year-old or 8-year-old or 9-year-old thinking about certain things, and I wouldn't ask them what they want to eat. We going to motherfucking this, or we're going here, or we're doing that. So if men considered their women, and even from a protection standpoint, you would never want to fucking bloody your daughter mouth or bloody your daughter face or put a hickey on her. You wouldn't even want to think about hurting your daughter in that way. And if you do, you got another, that's not even, you know what I'm saying? But if you could just look at your woman, even if she getting here with you, you ain't got to get there with her. Because if this was your daughter, this is somebody's daughter, the same way you're somebody's son. And if we understood that and viewed it and approached it in that way from a considerate standpoint, feel like I wouldn't want nobody to do this to my child, you wouldn't treat somebody in that way. And I think that relationships could be healthier with that little glimpse of consideration. Just that little bit of consideration can make all the difference in how healthy our relationships can be within these dynamics.
One of the best books I ever finished was All About Love. And to me, I thought the whole book was dope because it wasn't just, typically when we all talk about love in that romantic sense, but it's more so about these elements of consideration, patience, grace, and from top to bottom, significant others, to children, to your parents, how you were loved, what's your idea of love, and just literally top to bottom, through and through. So I think everything's
and another thing, man, ladies, y'all gotta learn how to protect your man character and stop destroying it. Like, as men, our character means something to us because it's our reputation, it's our credit limit, it's our credibility in the eyes of the public and the eyes of other men. And whether y'all care about it or not, we care about how we get viewed based from a respect standpoint, not from an image standpoint. This shit ain't about no fucking image. Nobody give a fuck about how a person is viewing their image or their personality or their charisma. But when it comes to a motherfucker's character, a motherfucker's credibility, a motherfucker's respect, their morals, their principles, your opinion matters because you're the closest person to that person. So the person that can do the most damage to that character is you. And most of the time, you're damaging a man's character based on a false and distorted perspective and perception of who this man is. And just look at it like this. How would you feel if your man mom always has something bad to say about you? Your man's sister always has something bad to say about you. Your man female friends or homies has something bad to say about you, and he said nothing. He said nothing to ever defend your honor, knowing that it's being misperceived, knowing that you're not who they think you are, knowing that the things that they're saying about you is false, and he says nothing. Now imagine the fact that you're the person saying the shit about him. And imagine what you putting him through and the type of strain that you create and you put in your relationship just from that dynamic alone. So if you want him to protect you, because you're not gonna feel like he's protecting you if his homies get off on you, if his mom get off on you, if his sisters get off on you, if his ex, her baby mom get off on you, you're not gonna feel like he's standing up for you. But yet you'll throw him under the bus, drive the bus, and then look at him crazy. You know what I'm saying? For feeling like you don't got his back. When in reality, we're not saying make excuses for a man, but which is so weird because y'all make excuses for why a man don't marry y'all because it directly affects you, but you won't sit here and show up when a man's getting misperceived when he actually is trying, to show up, and you the one damaging his character. You don't never want to go back and restore the order on what you already created, the chaos for. So, protect the man the way you want him to protect you. It just look different. We're going to protect y'all physically. We're going to protect y'all from yourselves. We'll protect y'all emotions to the best of our abilities because it's not really our job, but it is our job to not add to the nonsense of making your emotions, fluctuate in a non-conducive way. But the way y'all can protect a man is simply by not opening up that back door, as we always say, not letting nobody in on what y'all got going on, and not being the one to destroy his character. And if somebody is speaking against him in a way that's not consistent with who he is, then you let that be known too. Like, be as hyped to talk about having a good man as y'all is hyped to talk about the nut ass men that y'all had. And that's what's so nutty, because it almost to a point where you get remembered more. Take me here. You get remembered more for being a nut ass nigga than you do for being a good man. Because ain't too many women running around here saying how they fumbled a good man. They only want to sit here and highlight the fact that they fucked up, they had a fucked up nigga. They don't never want to talk about.
And were fumbled.
Yeah, huh?
Not when they fumbled. Not when they fumbled, when they were fumbled.
Yeah, never when you fumbled, but only when you were fumbled. And it's like, nah, like, we get it. Y'all ain't taking accountability. We get it. Y'all be delusional. But at some point, it comes down to the reality of it is, when you got a good man, you got to cherish that, because they not just printing them. They not just walking around. And even if it's like, oh, good women ain't just walking around, that is true, right? But the numbers still, for your own experience, for your experience alone, you should value that. Fuck what everybody else's experience is.
And two things. One, to put a pin on the first time about the whole house thing. Ultimately, what I thought about as well in regards to you, back to you, is in the whole situation, I feel like the disconnect started from the beginning that they didn't realize was she always owned that it was her place. Even though it was a new place and they said it was supposed to be theirs. Again, that's when kind of communication got a little...
Wait, it was her place already?
It wasn't. But she kind of carried it like it was. I'm not sure if his name was on the lease. And
see, no, that's why.
Yeah, it was a whole thing. Yeah. I think that kind of set it off the rails where she... Nigga, it's ours, but it ain't.
Yeah, well, that's why I don't move in with a woman. So I always say that shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But a couple more things that I was gonna say. Another thing too. I was saying, like, one of the common things that we hear women say is men want a second mom. And I feel like women want a first dad.
First,
yeah, because a lot of women who didn't
personal.
Reality, a lot of men do want to be catered to the way their mom catered to them, but don't want you to be their mom. I don't need you telling me what to do and not to do, but I do want you to care about me the way my mom cares about me, because it's unconditional. But when I say women want a first dad, it's like that's where the princess treatment philosophy come from. I want to be treated in a way that I was never treated before, or consistent with some women who was raised with their dad, and they was kind of led to that standard of operation, and they kind of just wanted to persist, which is okay. I'm not saying women wanting a first dad is an issue. I'm saying that that's just the reality of it. You, a man, want a second mom, but you want a first dad. You want this man to show up in a way that your father did or didn't. And with that being the case, it's like, don't shun him for wanting you to show up as his mom, but you want him to show up as your dad
every time.
And then you want to tell him he's not your dad when he try to show up as your dad. So it's like, that was just a simple thing that I was thinking about, and I wanted to say, it was just consistent to kind of what I was saying earlier. But all in all, man, another thing too, man, I would say, like, we always talk about discernment, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of people, discernment ain't strong because their ego is weak. And the reason my discernment is strong, because I don't operate out of my ego, right? So God is able to reach me in a discerning way. My gut is able to speak to me because I'm not operating from pride or ego. But because so many people are operating out of pride or ego, they can't discern past what they perceive things to be based on their limited understanding and expectation and view of what they think the outcome should be or would be based on how they see things. And it's all from ego. It's all from validation. It's all from, just a negative perspective of maybe they pain or the things that they endured, and then they wonder why they can't read a person. You can't read a person because you're going into it assuming that they're going to be a fucked up individual. You can't read a person because you're not giving them an opportunity to show you who they are. You're going into it with a preconceived notion, whether good or bad. Maybe you're perceiving them to be your Prince Charming or your fucking your Cinderella, or maybe you're perceiving this person to be your ex. So you can't even discern that. It might look similar, but it's completely different based on the fact that these are two completely different people, and you don't have the patience to allow it to play out because your ego needs control. and your pride don't want to get played or hurt. So now you're finding yourself dealing with a repetitive cycle of feeling like everybody's the same, when in reality, you're just viewing everybody the same. So if you can detach from your ego and minimize operating through your pride, unless it's conducive, because sometimes it pays to be proud, then you allow your discernment to do the work that it's supposed to do, which is speak to you and tell you, okay, this might look the same, but it's not the same. But we'll pick this up in another conversation, because it's funny, because there was one more thing that I even wanted to talk about. But you said what? I can't? Fuck you. Oh, I mean, you got Rick, so we had time, Bart. I told you we're gonna give y'all something short to the point. Let's do this. Oh yeah, that's what I was really gonna say. It's another thing why I did discernment too. I'll end it here because the other topic I take another place. Even going back to the discernment, a lot of people, y'all can't discern when y'all have a good person because y'all think y'all the prize in every situation. And that's like what's fucking y'all up. Like, y'all think that everybody is supposed to treat y'all on this pedestal while y'all get to treat them like shit, and you can't discern. Or even if you're not even treating them like shit, you just think that because you might have some amazing qualities about you, that only your qualities are valuable. And you could be fucking up with a lot of valuable people just simply because you think that you're the, this ain't even just in relationships. You think you the prize. So you think because you the prize, they should value your access. They should value your communication. They should value everything that's coming from your end with no reciprocity to what this person brings to the table as well. And then you wonder why you keep running into fucked up individuals, because every time you get with somebody that could be good, you overlook how good they are because you think that you're the prize. And that don't mean you're not a great person. That don't mean you're not a catch. That don't mean you're not a prize. It just means you're not the only prize. You're not the only person that has value. And if you understand that and you can discern, like, these situations could be beneficial, whether it's in dating, whether it's in business, or whatever the case may be, because this person also is a prize in their own regard. Like, a World Cup is different than a motherfucking Lombardi. A Lombardi is different than an O'Brien trophy, but they all are trophies. They all are prizes, and people work hard to get them. And if you look at it like that, understand that people work hard to become who they are and have what they have, you can value their prize. Even if it's not a prize to you, it can still be a prize for you or for the people, that's involved, or whatever the case may be. So, I'm perfectly fine with landing there.
King of analogies.
Yeah. So... But I'm perfectly fine with landing there because everything else would be a full conversation for sure. I will have to unpack.
Sometimes
how much time we at though?
20. Sometimes we gotta give them a teaser. Sometimes we got
21 minutes. That shit felt like it was 40.
Yeah, no, it was a top to bottom burner. Like,
I mean, that goes to show that 40 minutes of us talking, we should be playing around. We just be playing around. But
let's get right to
if you can't slow cook, sometimes the air fryer come in handy.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So this is one of them air frying episodes. But with that being said, man, big shout out to our sponsor. We did this strictly for y'all, for the community, for the supporters, for the 1%ers. We wasn't even gonna have this episode, and we might even do a drop 2 this week when this come out, just because we don't know. But we did this just to have something to give y'all, short, sweet, to the point, because we wanted to maximize the time we had, and I'm perfectly fine with that. And as you can see, my team, we worked overtime to be able to create this, even to the point where niggas is putting their other jobs on the line for this shit. So
absolutely,
don't let this shit go unnoticed, and we want y'all to know, man, we really appreciate y'all. We value y'all, and we hope y'all appreciate this. Big shout out to our sponsors, Her Fantasy Box. Make sure y'all go shop with them. Big shout out to our other sponsor, K-Pack Law. Make sure y'all get with him for any personal injury needs or any criminal needs. 877 K-Pack Law is easy as fucking number to remember. I don't even have to look at the screen no more. 877 K-Pack Law. Make sure I get with my guy. Tell him the Wolf sent you. Other than that, make sure y'all get with us and join the 1%ers community on school. The link is in our bio. The link is in the description. You can literally go to the school platform, just type us in on a Wolf Network, Wolf University, 1%ers. It's Wolf University on school. Wolf University, 1%ers. But y'all know where to find me at Wolf WSC. Follow the Wolf Network page, wolfnetwork.wsc. Get our podcast on the audio platforms, the Wolf Has Spoken Podcast. Get us on YouTube, the Wolf Network, the podcast, the Wolf Has Spoken Podcast. Where can they find you, Kill?
Ryan Q Live, as in on the right side on QUE Live.
And make sure y'all get with my guy, Ricky B. Philly. And as always, until next time, man, let's get it, man. The Wolf Has Spoken, man. We out.
Yes, sir.